Hey guys, this is Gene Jensen, and we're going to talk about the two basic fishing knots that you have to know. So there are lots of different types of fishing knots, and there are some that are used to join line to line, like when you're joining a main line to a leader. There are some that make loops in line and all kinds of other stuff. Well, the ones we're going to talk about are the ones you need to know first. And those are two knots to join your line to your hook or line to your bait or anything else. So if you're tying your line to your bait, these are the two knots, the Palomar knot and the approved Clinch knot. So let's start with the Palomar knot.
All right, so I hope you guys like my big old honking hook right here. Put the head cam on, so hopefully it's not too shaky. But the first one we're going to go over is going to be the Palomar knot. Now the Palomar knot I always use it for tying braid to a lure or to a hook. It just is the best braided knot that I've found, and it's also a very easy one to tie. So if you're getting started out, this would be one I definitely would learn. Use it to tie a monofilament to your hooks, but I would not use it to tie fluorocarbon. But anyway, let's get into it. Now, a lot of people teach it, and a lot of the websites that I've gone through over the years teach you to fold the line like this and then stick the line through the eye of the hook. The only problem is when you fold and pinch the line, you damage the line right there at the fold, and it can cause issues later on down the road. So the way I do it is I put it through the eye of the hook, pull out a good amount, and I put it back through the eye of the hook. And then what you've created is a loop, just like that. Now, you just tie a simple overhand knot. When you tie that knot, you make sure you pull enough loop out to be able to reach through and grab that the hook, just like that. Okay, and you bring everything above the eye of the hook, and then you leave it loose and pull. You can pull the tag line and the main line at the same time, and then you finish tightening it by just pulling the tag line. It's hard to do with this line because it's not fishing line, but anyway, you finish it by just pulling the tag line. So a lot of times when you do that with fishing line, your loop will get stuck right here on the eye of the hook. Just kind of take your finger and pop it around and then pull it tight to fix it up. All right, so there's the Palomar knot. Like I said, it's a really good knot, really easy to tie. Just don't use it for a fluorocarbon line. I've lost a lot of lures doing that, but be sure to use it for a braided line. Braided line, it's a solid knot for braid. And then monofilament, you can use it for that too. But anyway, so that's the Palomar. Let's jump on to the next one. All right, so this next one is the improved Clinch knot. I use this 99.9% of the time. The only time I don't use it is when I'm tying braid and tying a drop shot, but that's a whole different rig that I show in another video. But what you do is you pass it through and you double up your line just like this, okay? And I want you to look how I kind of hold it in my fingers. I want to keep this kind of snug, pull this snug, so I'm kind of wrapped it between my fingers just like this. And then I rotate my hook or my bait or whatever at least 5 times. And I'm not going to do it with this line because it makes it tough. But the thicker the line, the fewer times you've got to wrap it. So like with 20-pound test or 15-pound test, I'd wrap it 5 times. If you're fishing with light stuff like 6 and 8 and 10, I'd go 6, 7 times around just to give you that a little bit added friction. So you see, once we've wrapped it, you see that little loop that I've got between the eye of the hook and the twists? That's where you're going to pass your line through, okay? So you take and you pass your line through that loop, just like that. And then you poke it back through this loop that you just created, and you pull everything tight. Now, before I pull everything tight, I'm going to wet my line. I'm either going to put it in my mouth and get it wet or stick it in the water and get it wet. I usually just put it in my mouth. But then as I pull it tight, I pull the tag line tight first, and then I slide with my finger. I help the knot through, and this helps when you're tying fluorocarbon. Keeps you from burning your fluorocarbon and keeps your knot nice and break free. And then you just pull everything snug, and you've got an improved Clinch knot. Very, very simple to tie with a little bit of practice. Go back and watch this video over and over again, and so you can get it right. But those are the two basic knots you need to learn.
All right, so like I said, those are the first two knots you should learn. And literally, I'm not just saying it because they're beginner knots. I still use these to this day. They're the only ones I use. I know there's a ton of different ones out there. The San Diego Jam knot and the Palomar knot, the Rapala knot and all kinds of other stuff. But just learn these two. Learn how to tie your line to the lure or to the hook, and you'll be set. The improved clinch knot is the one I use, like I said, probably 99.99% of the time, and it has never failed me unless I jack it up, unless I mess up on the knot itself. So sit down at your couch, grab your fishing line, grab a hook, and learn this. It's probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself and for your fishing. But like I always say, be sure to introduce somebody to fishing. Introduce them to my channel. Let me help you teach them how to fish. More importantly, get out on the water. Go out and catch some fish and have a great day. We'll see you.